you probably want to go on and get up out of here. And then she looked at Bird. We ain't both out of control now. And I don't really give a when I drink. Have you ever been somewhere for New Year's Eve, a big celebration that you put together with some other people, and ended up on a hike? Well, I did, and I'm about to tell you about it. I can't make this up. This is all true stories. So, New Year's Eve 2022, y'all. Me and my husband, we were newlyweds. We got married in 2022. So we just doing our big one, right? We like, oh, well, actually, every time we go out and go to a club or any real like establishment like that where they got like a nightlife, we usually are going to get a section or table, whatever, because I be needing to sit down, okay? I can't just be standing up all night. You know, I be wearing my these ain't for standing up all day shoes. So I need a seat, okay? I am not 100 pounds. I can't hold this up all night, okay? I need to sit down somewhere. So I always like to get a seat. We don't go out often, so we can spend a little extra, you know, because you just paying $1,000 for a bottle that they probably watered down and then graduated. But we got a section at a club. You know, we doing our big one for New Year's Eve 2022. It just so happened 2 weeks before that, my cousin called me and was like,
cousin, what you doing for New Year's Eve?
I said, you know, I ain't doing nothing. What's up? So she like,
well, my cousin,
her cousin on her other side,
got a section at this club. It's, you know, it's lit, yada yada.
I've never been to this club before, right? She had never been to this club, but her cousin had been, and her cousin had told her how much fun it was. It's like a club / strip club, right? Like they have certain tables that have poles at them, right? So we talking about that, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I don't know, I gotta see what my husband trying to do, right? So she like,
well, let me know, because you can put in on a section with us. It's gonna be, you know, a girls' night, right?
So I said, I'm gonna let you know. Okay, so I talked to my husband, tell him, you know, what they trying to do. He like,
well, I thought me and you was kicking it for New Year's Eve, you know, like we always do.
We actually started our relationship around the end of the year, and so from the year we met to now, like we usually have a New Year's Eve party or do some sort of celebration, but we celebrate New Year's Eve together, even if we just stay in the house. Because one year we did stay in the house and we put some snacks out on the table, and what else did we do? Oh, we drank some champagne and we gave the kids some sparkling apple cider. Like it was one of them years. So we talking about what we gonna do, and he like, well, what club is it? So I tell him what club it is. It was actually Club Vanity in San Francisco. If you've ever been or you in the area, it's lit. It was lit. It was a good time. It was a good time. So he asked me about the club. I tell him what it is. He look it up and he like,
oh yeah, they look lit.
And then so he just so happened to get a call from his friend later on that day, and his friend was talking about going out like that night to this same club. So he like,
oh, this is a sign. It's gonna be good. We gotta go, right? You know, this gonna be the time.
But obviously he can't go with the girls group because, I mean, you know. So me and him, we gonna get a section, right? So we get us a section, and it was we only paid like $550, $600. It wasn't a lot. We ain't balling out of control now. You know, we balling on the budget. But for us, when we go out, including food, because you also can order food from this particular place, including food, we're gonna spend $300-400 anyway. So an extra $200 to sit down, I can do that, right? And a lot of clubs be $1,000 and $1,200, but this one we paid about $550, $600. Well, let me just get into the story. So my husband, he like,
yeah, you know, we should go there.
So we book it, and I tell my cousin like, look, I'm not gonna come with y'all to the club, but we do got a section there too, so we gonna see y'all there. And so we like, all right, see you there. So now it come that day, right? You know, we get dressed, we head over there to San Francisco. I think they said we need to be there at 10 o'clock, so we get there on time. They let us in, they sit us down. we actually there when my cousin them come through the door. Now we had a table. It wasn't by the door, but it was like downstairs. They have 2 levels, right? So we had a downstairs table by the dance floor, but the way it was positioned, you couldn't see the front door, but everybody had to come through this one way. We were sitting here looking this way. Everybody had to pass through us. So when my cousin came in, I'm like, hey, cousin, right? And run over to her, give her a hug, give her cousin a hug, which is my cousin too, kinda. That's how we grew up. But give them a hug or whatever, and they go on and go upstairs. No. They came over and said hi to Bird, said hi to, my husband, and then they was like, okay, well, they got us upstairs, right? And so they got their table upstairs. I think theirs was more expensive than ours, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think theirs was more expensive. That's why they were upstairs. It was like more private, and the bar was upstairs for some reason. But it didn't matter because we ordered a bottle. But anyway, so they go on and they go upstairs or whatever, and we just sitting there lit. Now, the section right next to us, y'all, it was so funny because it's just one guy sitting there. It was empty for a while. Then all of a sudden, this guy appeared. And at first, you know how people just be sitting down and it don't be their section and they just don't care? At first, I thought it was a situation like that, but it wasn't. This guy was just in the section by himself. I think he said his girl worked there or something, because Bird ended up starting to talk to him, right? So Bird was like,
oh, I see you in the section by yourself.
Right to the guy, and then they just they started having a conversation, and I think he told Bird, if I can recall correctly, that his girl worked there, and he probably had, a discount on the sections and all of that. But so he just sitting there chilling, and it's so funny because then he started offering his bottle to us. I don't know why. He started offering his bottle to us. Bird offering our bottle to him. Now we all 3 taking shots together. I'm like, this is crazy. But anyway, and they ended up exchanging numbers. I think they still talk to this day. It's anywho, you never know how you meet people. But so we just sitting there, we chilling. Now, an hour or something's gone by. We didn't order our food and all of that. Bird didn't really eat, but I got down. Right? So, and I had like some chicken wings and fries or whatever, something that was going greasy and big up my back. But what did we do? Yeah. So we sat there for probably about an hour or so, and then of course I had to use the restroom. So he had to take me to the bathroom. I don't know about y'all, but when I'm out and about, unless I'm with somebody else, like, one of my sisters or cousins or whatever, then I want my husband to walk me to the bathroom, because it's not that I'm like scared that something is going to happen. I am afraid that I'm going to do something. And in a sense of, if somebody touch me or slap my ass or something like that, I might punch him. So I just rather have him there so that nobody does that. And I'm not saying that like, oh, I'm so desirable and everybody wants to touch me. I'm not saying that, but when alcohol is involved, sometimes people get a little loose, with their hands. They be brushing up against people, and I understand that, and I just want to avoid all conflict, because when I get a little alcohol, I don't get really nice and pliable like a lot of people do. I get a little rigid, and I don't really give a hell when I drink. So, and I don't be belligerent and stuff like that, and like mean. I will get belligerent at the house. I will get belligerent, fall out right on that couch. But in public, I do not like get belligerent and cuss people out. I'm a very, very happy drunk. I'm a happy person, so when I get drunk, it amplifies that. I just want to have a time. I'm very excited. I do get loud. That's even my pet peeve. But I have a loud voice already, and I do get loud. I scream. I have a loud laugh, regular. Without alcohol, I laugh loud than a okay? So I'm getting loud. I'm gonna be screaming. You probably gonna tell me to be quiet. I don't mind though. I don't take no offense, because I know what I'm doing. But anyway, I don't be doing all that, but I got quick reflexes, and I don't, especially when I drink, like I'm not thinking this through. Oh, what could happen after that? Somebody touch me, I touch them. Like that's just, it's a reflex, fight or flight. My fight always goes off because I'm scared. I keep telling y'all, I am scared. So anyway, my husband walked me to the bathroom, right? Now, we get in there, or he didn't go in, but I get in there, and just so happened, my cousin and one of the girls from the section, They down there in the bathroom. So we talking or whatever. Of course, we take forever because we in there fixing ourselves. And now I waited for them to use a bathroom. And I mean, they waited for me because they were there first. But they waited for me to use the bathroom and all of that. And we just talking and stuff. So now, when I come out, Bird, he's with a group of guys, right? It's about 4 guys. They surrounded him, right? At first, I thought it was a problem, right? But they surrounded him, hugging him, okay? Telling them how much they love him. And I'm like, Bird, what's going on here? And he's like,
oh no, I just met these guys in the bathroom.
Bruh.
I just met these guys in the bathroom. They real cool dudes.
and Bird is real friendly like that. Like, when I tell you, like, I'm very friendly and I'm very nice, but he looks friendly. I don't look as friendly as he look. And I'm not gonna lie, so he light skinned, y'all seen him before. I'm not gonna lie and say that's not a color thing, because I walk around with a smile on my face. I do have times where I do look serious. I'll be like,
Bruh.
but for the most part, 80% of the time, I walk around like this. Like, I'll be like, because I'm a weirdo, y'all. I'm not regular, so I just walk around looking weird.
Bruh.
Like, I be talking to myself. I walk into my job and I'm like, oh my God, this is so funny. How did I make it at 4:33 a.m.? So I'm always like smiling, hee-heeing, right? You know. So anywho, Bird looks approachable. I necessarily don't. But so he done met these guys. They surrounded him, hugging him. I'm like, okay, what's going on? I had to retrieve him from these people because they think he theirs. He mine though, but they think he belong to him. They trying to take him with them to wherever they was in the club. But so I'm like, no, you know, come on. So I gather him and I take him to the section. The men's, they go to the section with him. I tell Bird, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna go walk them upstairs. I go upstairs to my cousin them section. I didn't know it, but I was up there for 45 minutes or an hour.
Bruh.
When I come back down, the 4 guys that are, and it's so funny because when I went upstairs, they was having a payment issue upstairs. Like, you know how everybody go in, and this is why I don't like to go in on stuff with nobody. But you know how, you counting up the money, everybody getting their money together. You give me your 100, you give me your 100, you give me this, you send yours on Cash App, you do this, you do that. And I don't know if they was coming up short or the lady was saying they needed some more money, but there was this big discussion around money. And I don't like doing that. I just don't like it. If we splitting it, I already got the total. You sent me yours. Here's my card. We paid for it, or vice versa. I don't want to do that. I don't like doing all of this around money, okay? It's either I'm gonna buy it, we gonna split it, and we gonna take care of it. I don't know what the hang up was because they were splitting it equal ways, so I don't know what it was. And that's probably why I stayed so long, because I waited until they resolved that and wanted to see what the outcome was. You know, you never know. So anywho, I went back downstairs, and the 4 guys that Bird met in the bathroom, they were in the section, right? They sitting in the section. And then there were 2 girls sitting there, right? One is sitting right next to Bird. When I tell you 1 more inch and she would have been in his lap, okay? She's sitting right there next to Bird. By this time, Bird's drunk because we got a bottle of champagne and we got a bottle of Don Julio, maybe? Some tequila. We got Reposado because that's the one we like. And I don't know why, it's acting just like Blanco. Yeah, so we had champagne and hard liquor. And the girl, like I said, she's sitting there. It's another girl. She's like standing up, but like on the outer edge of the section. And the section was like, it was like seating room for 6, maybe. If I remember, I will insert a Victor. I will insert a video or a picture right about somewhere around here. But so she's sitting there. So I'm like, I walk over, right? And he just literally, Bird just looking like he just sitting there with the girl. Like, I don't know what's happening. He's passing, shots around to the guys or whatever, but it's so crazy because the 2 girls sitting there, they didn't have no cups, is all I'm saying. They didn't have no cups, right? So I'm like, what is they doing? But you know how sometimes, and I've been in a group of females where we've done this, you go by a man's section or whatever, you're trying to get a drink or see what's happening or whatever, because usually, especially a man that's in a section by himself, it is the assumption that he got money. So let me go see what he's talking about. Ain't nobody talking to him. Let me go see what's happening. So, like I said, I know what it's about. So I walk up to the girl and I'm like, hey boo, how you doing? And she like,
Hey.
right. And I was like, so then I looked at Bird and I was like, and he was like, bruh, you know, I don't know, because she probably just came and sat down over there. And Bird, he's so nice, he's not gonna be like, hey, you gotta get up. Like, he ain't, and he nice, but he's scandalous, because you ain't even gonna get this girl no warning that I'm finna come back downstairs and raise her about this seat. Not like that, but she got to go, right? So now I grabbed her hand, because she's sitting, I'm standing. So I grabbed her hand, like, you know, just like this, very gently. Grabbed her hand and was like, hey, like, you know, made her stand up. Like, I pulled her up, gently. Bruh. And, you know, started like telling her, you know, dance basically. And I was like getting behind her, acting like I was behind her. Cause honestly, if she would have, you know, if she would have been dancing and been lit and all that, I probably would have let her stay. But yeah, like I was trying to see, you know, what the vibe was like, girl. Like I'm not like that where I'm just like, oh, it's a woman right here in my section by my man or whatever. Like it's really enough for all of us to go around, right? But when I grab her hand, I'm like, hey, she looking at me
like, what are you doing? Like, why would you touch me?
Or whatever, right? So I was like, oh, well, you probably want to exit stage left then. And she was like,
What?
I said, girl, if you're not dancing, you probably want to go on and get up out of here. And then she looked at Bird. And then Bird was like,
oh yeah, whatever my wife said.
And she was like, girl, what are you doing? You didn't even ask this man. First of all, this man sitting here with a big ass ring on. Second of all, you didn't even ask this man nothing. It seemed like you just walked over here and sat down. And because he let you sit down, you just felt like, you know, and probably when the next bottle was ordered or whatever, or whenever Bird set the bottle down, because he was, when I tell you, he was babysitting and he in there like,
you want some? You want some? You want some?
Bruh. But probably they was gonna try to, you know, get some, you know, at that point. But I'm just like, girl, like, what did you come here for? Like, what are you doing? So anyway, so her and her friend, they left. And then now it's just me and Bird and these 4 guys. Oh my God, they was so funny. They was so lit. It was hecka funny. Then we had a table that had the dancer pole on it, right? So then one of the dancers come over and I had got some ones so Bird can throw them and stuff like that. She was dancing for us and stuff. And she was a black girl, go girl. Because actually 2 of them came over there. And, one of them, they was just like, I guess she was trying to give Bird a lap dance because she was just standing next to him, talking to him. She was like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? The black girl got on the pole. She was like, look, I'm gonna give you this dance. And then Bird, he threw his ones on her. So we just kicking it with the dudes or whatever, you know, having a good time. I saw a few people I knew from high school. Then my cousin and her cousin come downstairs. Oh, and one of their friends. 3 of them, they come downstairs, right? And I'm like, what's up with y'all? Like, what's going on? They like, man, we threw it up there because they section probably had room for like 10 or 12. And I want to say they were only 1 or 2 people shy of that. They came deep. They came deep. Right, and that's probably why their section was, you know, it was bigger, it was more expensive, it was in the like VIP area, right? So they came downstairs, they're like, we just can't do it up there no more. And I was like, what, you know, so what y'all want to come down here? They're like, yeah. So, you know, they came down, we got them some shots, we finished the rest of our night in our section. We going outside, we getting ready to leave now. We pretty toasted now. Wait, but before that, when Bird seen that my cousin and them had came downstairs, y'all, he grabbed the bottle girl and looked at her and was like, we need another one. I'm like, oh my God. He just got another bottle of champagne though. He ordered another bottle. And so we drank that with them and in the rest of the liquor that we had left from the tequila. And then it was time to leave. So now it's time to leave. We walked them to their car. Because it was, you know, 2 women, my cousin and them. We walked them to their car and they was parked in this parking lot that's like right across the street. So it was cool. And then we were parked down the street, some on the street. So after we walked them, we walked to our car. Now, when we get in the car, I don't know if y'all familiar with the area or whatever, but I'll put a little map up if I remember of how it's, how the Bay Area is, right? So we were in San Francisco, and there are 2 ways to go when you get on the freeway, of course, like most freeways, right? You know, we was at a junction, and you could either go down towards LA or you could go to the side across the bridge back to the East Bay, right? So we get in the car and we just talking about the night, and did you see this girl? Did you see them dudes? What happened here? And I didn't see that. And me and Bird just going. We two talkers. We are nonstop. All we do is talk, right? And we just laughing, ha ha, he, yada yada, right? Y'all, all of a sudden, and it's crazy because we obviously have no concept of time, because we probably left that club at 2 o'clock. It should have only taken us 35 minutes to get home. Maximum 35 minutes, right? Let's just say we got in the car at 2:15. All of a sudden, the car start like shaking, right? And so we're like, what? Like, did you hear something? Now the highway is hecka dark. All you can see is like the headlights, right? Highway hecka dark, right? And when I drive, especially when I'm a passenger, especially when he's driving, I really don't pay attention to the road, you know, one, because, you know, I trust him, and two, we be so engaged in conversation that I ain't got time for that. Like, I'm doing something, right? So, anywho, we are driving down the road. We thought he hit something, like he ran over something. So we're like, oh man, or whatever, right? And then, like, the lights on the dash start flashing, and we like, and then he like,
oh my God, I think we're running out of gas.
Now, when that started happening, of course, he's pulling to the side of the road. I look at the clock on the dash in the car, right? And it says like 3:05 or something like that. So now I'm realizing we've been on the road hella long, right? I'm like, where are we? So I look at my phone, right? I pull up the maps, you know, look at our pen. Y'all, we are headed down towards LA. We have driven an hour down from San Francisco. We ended up in like Gilroy or something like that, right? I'm talking about blasting. He doing like 80, 85, blasting. It's 3 in the morning, right? Y'all, we pull over and he like,
oh my God, like, yeah, it's gas.
Cause we, you know, when he trying to start it, we can hear the sound. So we look in the back. I had a Hyundai Elantra at the time. It was my car. And we look in the back, and I didn't have no gas can. I think we had one, but I think it was in his car at the time or something like that. But we was like, okay, so what we gonna do? Now my slow self, I just told y'all, when I'm a passenger in the car, especially when he driving, I do not pay attention to the road or my surroundings, right? Y'all, my slow self, my drunk self gonna say, I think I seen a gas station like a mile back. Mind you, I don't know what a mile is. I'm in the car. I don't know what a mile is. I was like, I think I just seen a gas station, right? And so he like, okay, because his first thought was called AAA. Now, but when I mentioned this gas station, I was like, I think we can walk to it. Now, y'all, it has started drizzling. Like drizzling. This is December, okay? It has started drizzling. So the road is a little wet. And I have on my party dress. He got on some dress shoes. And did he have on dress shoes? No. I can't remember what he wore. I think he might have wore dress shoes. And then I had on heels, but then I also brought, you know, slides or whatever, right? But they was like some little clear Shein slides. Matter of fact, I think I got them right here. It was these I had on these. So I'm like, we can walk it. He like,
Anaise, I don't think we should do that. This not a good idea, this car AAA.
I'm like, man, they gonna take hecka long. They gonna take 45 minutes, right? And so not even thinking about, okay, how fast can you walk a mile? If you just walk it, right? The average person probably walk it, let's just say 25 minutes. And let's say I undershot that and it's 2 miles. It's gonna take at least 50 minutes for you to walk there, Anaise. So you might as well just call AAA. But I'm not thinking like that. I'm like, no, we can fix this. It could be faster than this. We can walk and we can get the gas and then we can come back. Bruh. I didn't think about if the gas station didn't have a gas can. I didn't consider none of that. I was just like, we could do it. And somehow, some way, I didn't convince him that we should walk. So we locked the doors to the car, put our coats on and stuff, and start walking up the road. Bruh. Walking up the road. I don't know how long we walked until we realized I didn't see no gas station, y'all. I didn't see no gas station. I don't know what. I did not see a gas station. There was no gas station. We walked at minimum 30 minutes. That was the minimum. And I'm being very, very generous with that, because I think we walked 45 or more. But minimum of 30 minutes, didn't see a thing. After 30 minutes, we have walked a mile, okay? It ain't nothing here, and all you can see is black and the lights, the few lights that are passing, because now it's almost 4 o'clock, okay? It's approaching 4 a.m. So now we like, all right, we just gonna turn around. We're gonna call AAA and turn around. I don't know why I didn't call AAA first, but I was like, okay, we gonna call AAA when we get back to the car.
Bruh.
So anyway, so now we start our journey back. Now we got at least 30 minutes. Mind you, the ground is wet. My feet are soaked, okay? I'm not supposed to be walking barefoot, okay? My feet are soaked. His shoes is wet. His socks is wet. We complaining. Everything is uncomfortable. But we're still having a good time, aren't we? So we start our journey back. We walking down the road, the side of the freeway, a 2-lane highway. And this truck passes us and pulls over, right? Now, we're a little scared because we love to watch a good murder mystery, okay? So we like, oh my God, we out here, ain't nothing around, and he like,
Man, alright, just stand behind me, and if something start happening, if they start shooting, just start running. And if they don't shoot, then just whoop they ass with me, right?
So I'm like, okay, I got you. So the guy, he pulled over, he's in front of us. We walking. When we get close by the car, it was a truck actually, he rolls the window down. So we know that he pulled over for us. It's confirmed. So he rolled the window down and he's like,
Hey, my friend, you need a ride?
this Latino guy. And then Bird, he looked and he was like, the guy said,
Is that your car back there? The white car? Is that your car?
and then Bird was like,
Well, yeah, the car ran out of gas. We just trying to get to the gas station.
and the guy was like,
Well, get in. I'll take you to the gas station.
so we look at each other, we kind of assess the situation. We like, all right, we can do it, right? So Bird get in the passenger seat and I get in the back and I'm sitting behind Bird, right? We both on the passenger side. Now the whole time I'm sitting in there, I'm like facing the driver, because making sure I got like a little bit of leverage, because if he moved any way wrong, when I tell you I'm gonna be the first, because I'm so scared of everything, y'all. I'm scared of spiders, I'm scared of people, I'm just scared, okay? So I'm fighting it to the death. I'm gonna just start swinging, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna do whatever I can to get over this fear, okay? So the guy he take us to the gas station, and of course they have gas, but they didn't have a gas can. So we like, oh my God, what we gonna do? So he like,
No, don't worry. I got another gas station. I know another one. Close. It's close.
so we go down the street like 4 or 5 minutes, and there's another gas station. Of course, we know they got gas, but do they have a gas can? So we go inside, and they got a gas can. Buy the gas can, get the gas, get back in the car with the man, and he drives us back to our car. He dropped us off, we put the gas in, but before we got out, I was like, sir, we don't have any money to give you, but that was so kind. Oh my God, that was so kind. He did not have to pull over and get us in the car, especially with, let's just keep it real. Let's keep it all the way funky. We black. He Latino. He might have been strapped, so he felt safe, but he didn't have to let us in his car, especially with all the stereotypes of what black people be doing and how bad we are and dangerous. He didn't have to do that, and I appreciate him so much for that. But we were telling him, or I was telling him, hey, we don't have anything to give you, but we want to give you something. Do you have Cash App, Venmo, Apple Pay, and so or Zelle? And so he had Zelle. So I gave him. I'm a Zelle that man too. I said I was gonna Zelle him every year. Just Zelle him, $15, $20 every year, just for doing that good deed, for helping us. I Zelled him I think $40 that night for taking us. I said I was gonna send that man something every single New Year's Eve because he just really blessed us. I sent him $40, and the next year, 2023, I sent him, I think, $20, and I missed last year, but I'm not gonna miss this year because, again, that was such a blessing. But so he took us, you know, he dropped us off back to our car, we put the gas in, and we was back on the road, right? And it was so funny because we didn't get back to the house till like almost 6 o'clock. And at that time, we was living with my grandma, y'all. We was living with my grandma. So we come in, and my granny is the type of person, she will stay up till midnight, but she will be back up at 5:30 in the morning. So when we came in, she's sitting on the couch like the Cheshire cat.
Hey, y'all had a good time?
I was just cracking up. I'm like, girl, you ain't gonna believe this, y'all. So I was just cracking up, and I'm like, man, this don't make no sense. That man could have did something to us, even though he didn't. He was a wonderful man, and I thank the Lord for him. That was God. That's just like, you know that joke when they like, there was a man drowning, and he said, you know, he had so much faith in God, and he just knew God would save him. So a boat came by, and he was like, oh, no, thank you, God will save me. And then another boat came, and he was like, no thanks, God will save me. Then the third boat come, same thing. And then he gets to heaven, and then he asked God, why didn't you save me? And he said, I sent you 3 boats. That's the same thing. Like, God sent that man. He sent that man. There was no, because once we started walking to, y'all, I forgot to mention this. Once we started walking, we really didn't see a lot of cars on our side of the road. It was like one every 9 or 10 minutes. There was not a lot of people out, okay? There was not a lot of people. So God sent that man to pull over. Wasn't even a lot of people out. So the probability of somebody pulling over was minute. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Anaise Tranee. If you're new here and you need some more juicy story times, you could click right here. If you want YouTube to pick my next video for you, you can click right here. I love y'all so much. Thank you. I wish you love, peace, and a lifetime of listening to Anaise. And I'm out.